Speaking of that, Labradorite has definitely been one of our #1 rare, unique mine finds that Jay has brought to us in many, many different styles and silhouettes and pendants and earrings. This is just all full Labradorite, and we're offering it today at a special sale price of $134.98. It was originally, I want to say, $164. So you have to see, because Labradorite is all about labradorescence and what it does with the light. And this is playing with that light as beautifully as they get, showcasing all those wonderful rich peacock colors that the labradorescence is known for. So these are all custom cut, fancy cut stones, 100% handcrafted, 18 inches in length, 2 3/4 inch toggle. There's your signature sterling silver heart. That is a signature on all J. King necklaces when there is an extender. We haven't done a lot of full necklaces in genuine Labradorite, have we?
Here's the thing, even with
Labradorite,
and I don't want you to, keep telling you the same story, but I'm just telling you right now. Look, I'm already writing, like I said, do you realize, I mean, for us, we have to write way out. And when I say write, I mean put our shows together. And the main reason is because how we manufacture. When I say it's hand done, I'm not kidding. I mean, we literally hand make each piece, each design, from the natural rough material, from sheet sterling silver material. I mean, it is all individually hand created. It takes a lot of time to do that. The Labradorite is something, this is kind of some of the last of the material that I have. Usually I've got a beautiful specimen up here I can show you, explain what labradorescence is. Labradorescence is actually the property that Labradorite has, where it has a natural color and fire, which is contained within the rough material. What makes Labradorite very unique and very rough, a unique rough material is this. That fire, when you get the natural rough, and I wish I had my specimen here. I wasn't expecting to be showing this today. If I showed you the specimen, you could see where the fire lines are. It takes a very special cutter. This isn't something where you just take and you block it out and you slice it like you would a loaf of bread. You have to take the cutter when they're cutting the beads, when they're cutting the cabs. It's a very skilled artist. They make one cut in the rough. They find the fire line, and then they have to chase that fire line. They have to actually chase it. So they might be cutting numerous different angles when they cut Labradorite to be able to do this. They just don't chop up the material and just cut the beads and be able to have the fire. To have the fire, they actually have to chase the fire lines in it. I had a really good source in Madagascar of some really nice Labradorite, although I do get it in South America also. And we're just down to the last of that, and I really don't have a lot of the material. I'm hoping we have a meeting scheduled in Tucson, and I'm hoping for next year we're gonna have more rough. But you'll see very little. If you want Labradorite, you might want to consider this. Also, these values, the sale prices and stuff, are something you're just not going to see next year. We're just not going to have the rough.
Now, do you get a lot of the ideas about being able to buy a unique rough like this from the Tucson show, Jay?
Well, here's the thing with the Tucson show. I've been attending for over 40 years. For people who haven't been to the Tucson Gem Show, this is something you definitely need to put on your bucket list. If you're interested in gems, it's literally the largest collection of gems and jewelry probably in the world. You have people that go to the Tucson show in February. That's the one show you'll ever see them at in any given year, right? That's the only time. The rest of the time they're living in the middle of nowhere, and it's the only time to contact them. It really is something that's really just an amazing, amazing event. Tucson is where we go, and sometimes we find new materials, but not so much anymore. How we find new materials, I probably shouldn't say this on air, but was actually by meeting, we have so many miners and friends, and then we meet them out. Then they turn us on to other miners.
Yes, I got it. So it's a really who's who and who knows who. And
that's kind of the way it is. It's kind of, they call it the coconut telegraph.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, neat. 682092 is the item number. Again, first time at the special sale price, 6 flex payments, absolutely beautiful. I call it the mystical stone because it always looks different. By the way, we're going to show you, I'll give you an update on the earrings, but did you notice